Improvers for season 1998. Richmond and Melbourne, very tight contest in the opening three quarters. Goal scoring was hard to come by, as you can see. In 3 quarters of footy, just 11 goals scored. And in the third quarter alone, the Tigers managed just 4 behinds. At 3-quarter time, Melbourne 6-7-43, holding a slender 4-point lead over Richmond 5-9-39. Let's go to the action now, and it is ripping action too. The start of the final quarter.
Start of the final term here at the MCG with the Demons leading by 4 points. First half was all Richmond, but Melbourne came back hard in the third term and to go in with that 4-point lead. And it's been a tough, hard game. Matthew Knight's been tackled by Guy Regani. But Ross Glendinning, Melbourne's newfound determination has just been outstanding.
Yeah, and their belief in themselves is the big secret too, Pete, knowing they can win a game.
Well, they go forward again after a big knock by Watt. That's Prescott. Back it comes to the centre of the ground to Gale for Richmond. He brings it with a wobbly kick now towards half forward. Good mark to Ben Holland. He'll have to kick from outside 50. Now he's got back quickly in case he had a loose man. Richardson and Shanahan have had a fantastic duel. Richardson has kicked 2. Shanahan, his great spoiling's been good also. Now here's the lead. No mark by Richardson. Over the back is Anthony McDonald. He bends it back to the centre of the ground. The bounce, very important. Punch by Gale. Knights and James McDonald. Viney has been good again. He drives it out wide. It might be out in the full this. It is. And not a good kick by the captain. And a young player having his first game, Andrew Callaway, brother of Duncan, has done a fair job on Gary Lyon. Will kick this back.
Played in Richmond's reserves premiership last year. Knight's a great hand pass to Prescott. Has been excellent all day, Ashley Prescott. Good direct kick to full forward. At the front, Bauer. Open goal. Richardson gets up there, but somehow doesn't score anything. And the margin remains at 4 points, Melbourne in front. Bauer spent most of the day on the bench. Be a pretty hard task to come off the bench here today, stone cold, and get out in the action. Still a chance for the Tigers. Holland, he's taken just 1 mark. That one a minute ago. For goal, offline, and out of bounds on the full. Well, Richmond have kicked just 1 goal since quarter time. They led by 20 points at the first change, and just slowly Melbourne have pegged them back because Richmond's scoring has dried up.
Stephen Phoebe is off the ground after copping a very heavy knock just 2 minutes before 3-quarter time, so they'll certainly miss him. The kick by Adam Uze to the half-back line. The pack flies. 2 tall Richmond players. One of them was Holland, who latches onto it. Danger for the Demons. Oh, didn't quite bounce for Richardson. Now he's got a chance. Can't get the hand pass in. Uze cleverly goes to the line and then pretends to roll over with the ball and disguise that beautifully, Roscoe.
Cleverly done there. You see Jim Steins, David Schwartz on the bench for Melbourne.
Some big names on the bench. So Neil Danaher's left it in the hands of some kids out there. Schwartz has had a poor day. Gasper killed him. Holland. And this one's out of bounds on the full. He's kicked 2 out on the full in the space of a minute. And Richmond haven't scored a goal since Matthew Richardson got one at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter.
Correct.
Well, there's Ben Holland. He's had a quiet game. It's very blustery conditions it's been all day here. And some of the kicking has been a bit ordinary because of that. Now here's Adam Uze, who's a greatly improved player. He drives it to the half-back area. Up they go. Here's Knights. Further afield to Evans. Evans tries to centre it. A beautiful kick. And a good lead by Bowden. And he'll kick for goal from directly in front, 40 metres out.
Now this kid will kick it.
Well, if he does, they'll lead by 2 points.
Kick coming in here, and Bowden always had the drop by about 3 or 4 metres. And no question, Drew, I agree with you that you wouldn't want too many other players out of this side in this situation.
So Joel Bowden, as we look directly behind him, kicking to the punt road end. He should slot it through from there. No doubt about that one. Easy as you come. Richmond in front.
Well, as Drew mentioned, it's been a hell of a long time coming. And it might just take a little bit of a sting out of the momentum of Melbourne, who've had all the running from that third quarter, which is the one that got them back into this game, to the front at three-quarter time. They take their foot off the pedal. Richmond are going to be good enough to come back.
Well, Richmond's fifth came at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter and their sixth at the 4-minute mark of the last quarter. So they played an hour of football without getting a goal. Rigoni for Melbourne out of the middle. In the centre circle, they're wrapped up Gary Lyon. And the umpire sprints in and will ball it up. He was dumped just short of a length on the cricket pitch. Tension on the faces. Richmond sitting alongside Melbourne. And the crowd here about 50-50 in their support for the two teams. It's been scrappy and low scoring, but nobody knows who's going to win. And most of the day there have been big packs developing like this. A juggled mark, Harrison, who had a brilliant first quarter. He's had 19 possessions, and he had about 10 of those in the first quarter. Two points the margin. Tigers up by 2. Harrison, 55 metres out. Won't make it. Richardson, no mark. Benny Gale, offline, behind. So still Melbourne within a kick.
3 points the margin. A big game for both clubs, particularly Richmond, to just get up there with the pack. Melbourne have had an outstanding season. Richmond have been a little bit inconsistent. This is Shameway Woden going short. He finds his captain, Todd Viney. He's still deep in that defensive area. Now he's thinking of transferring play here. It might be dangerous if he does. Now he's going short instead and finds Shanahan. He's off. Back to Viney. Viney, oh, an ordinary kick by Viney. He'll go and get it again. He's tough. He gets his hand pass in. Quick hand pass comes back to McDonald. That's Anthony McDonald to half forward. Smith is the flyer at the Noah's line, the flyer at the back. That's Rogers with a hurry kick. And Knights has latched onto this in the centre of the ground.
Matty Knights, the skipper, trying to lead by example, coming up for his 20th kick, or 20th possession. He goes out wide to the 50. Richardson, well, he's too far out to score. Shanahan standing the mark, about 3 metres outside the 50. Comes in short to Prescott. It didn't carry to him. It spills now. Evans goes back. Richardson another chance. He goes for goal and has kicked it. Unbelievable.
Well, the Tigers gaining the momentum here. They're up by 9 points. Can the D's, the young D side, come back? Gale and White. Here comes Knights. Beautiful play by Knights, and look at that. Oh, it didn't quite get there. Here's Gergich. Brent Gergich, another one of the young brigade. Bending it back to the half-forward line. Still danger for Melbourne. Oh, brilliant mark, Prescott. A great mark under enormous pressure.
Well, he's the only player that seemed to read the flight of that ball. I got to front position, knew it was going to drop a bit short. The 3 Melbourne players just unable to make contact to the footy to spoil him.
Well, he marked it high up above the chest area, up towards the shoulders. Ashley Prescott. This would be a handy one if he could kick it. He has to kick it 50. It would put them 2.5 goals in front. So right on 50. Prescott goes for goal. Then it's out to the right. And it is one behind. So the Melbourne supporters breathe a sigh of relief.
Good catch this. Very good one. Determined.
Margin 10 points. Melbourne haven't scored in this last quarter, and Richmond have added 2 goals too. Richmond, after their scoring, had dried up totally. Didn't get a goal for an hour. Woden kicks in for the Demons. Clears the 50. Steins is there and Ingerson. Gee, camp under that and play fair. And the ball out of bounds. McDonald wants a free kick. But it's going to be the boundary umpire to take charge. Steins to go in ruck against Holland. Jimmy Steins returning today after 2 weeks out with a broken bone in his hand. And it's going to be here a Melbourne free kick to Ingerson. Eldwin not in possession. 53 to 43, Richmond in front, and we have 13 and a half minutes remaining.
So Anthony Ingerson's at half-back with that familiar-looking kicking style of his. A mark to wide it is. He gives it off to Hopgood. He should go down the middle here and put a bit of pressure on. He has a bounce. He's trying to draw the man. He's got Sean Smith. Now that's a good kick by Smith. Farmer outmarked. Too tall was Jason Tawney. The kick out wide. Brendan Gale lopes after it. He gets a favourable bounce. And the big fella runs around the outer half-back flank area. It's a wobbly kick. Gergich back with the flight. Couldn't get there, and it bounces over the line. The players look very tired, and no wonder it's been played at a frantic pace.
Yes, and for most of the day, he could throw a blanket over about 24 players. Very hard to find space. Gale had more than most have had today, and it was a very poor kick by Benny Gale. Prescott. Campbell, no time. Knights just put some class into it. Out to Rogers. Kick by Rogers to centre half forward. Richardson. Spoiled by Shanahan. Illegal. Free kick Richardson. He came over the shoulder. Shanners.
Absolute wasted possession. Unbelievable.
Richardson went short and his pass was chopped off by McDonald, who himself has turned it over to Gasper. Played a whale of a game, Gasper. To Rogers. Wide. Richardson up on centre wing.
He's a very athletic guy. Oh, clever hand pass. Back it comes from Callaway. Richardson, a good kick, a long driving kick. Puts the pressure on the Melbourne defenders. Bishop is going to be a very good player. Here's Todd Viney. Towards half-back. Guy Regani thumps it towards the half-forward line, and again a wayward kick. And this is Andrew Callaway.
Whistle for some reason. It's got to come back to Callaway. Why?
Didn't kick from behind his mark.
Oh, good mark by umpire Coates. So Andrew Callaway, a dead set ringer for his brother Duncan, but just a little bit taller. The Richmond players fly. Here's Richardson. Low trajectory kick to the half-forward line. No mark. Harrison latches onto it. Still going, Harrison. Now the Demons through Uze take it away. Quick hand pass. Whoa. Oh, taps for a point. If it had have set up, Campbell could have grabbed it and run in.
Exactly.
Demons still within 2 kicks, but they haven't scored even a point in this last quarter. Breeze has been a bit fluky, but by all indications, Melbourne have it in the last quarter, and yet for about the last 2.5 quarters, most of the scoring's been done into the Breeze at the left-hand end, the punt road end. Woden to kick in. And it works well for Liancelli. Floats it over the top to Hopgood. They put the brakes on Daffy earlier in the game. Short to Steins on the back end of the centre square. Liancelli takes it back. Straight to centre half forward. Smith, we need a mark of the year. Holland for Richmond. Didn't get boot to ball. It's still there for the Demons. Here's Jeffrey Farmer with White. White concedes some ground. Good hand Smith. Further back to Hopgood. 55 metres out. Hoisted high in the air. Johnston there. He tries to paddle on, but Bauer has it for Richmond.
And they've got a loose man out wide. I couldn't quite see him. Bauer was on his own way out on the wing. But Bauer went around the boundary line and couldn't quite see it. Well, not Bauer. His teammate was out wide, I should say. So Ingerson tapped over the back. Campbell a quick kick to the wide open spaces, and some tired players watch the ball roll over the line. So at the moment, Ross, Richmond seem to have gained the ascendancy.
They've just turned that around very quickly, which is a sign of a good side.
Throw in centre wing. Steins and Gale. Liancelli, he played that very well. Dishes it out. Campbell. And once again out of bounds. Miranda is off the ground for Richmond. He was hobbling. I don't think we'll see him back. Farmer went off for Melbourne and spent about 2 quarters on the interchange bench, and we didn't think we'd see him back, but he came back and kicked a goal and sprinted like an Olympic 100-metre merchant. Steins. Farmer's up there on the forward line, but Richmond working it out of defence. Tawney, kicked by Tawney to half forward. It clears the players. Uze first back there and goes for the boundary line across half back. Has he given it enough? It just gets there.
So it's right on 50 metres out from the Richmond goal. They lead by a couple of goals. Steins did well with the left hand. There's Daffy, a quick kick, and bounces right on the line, so it'll be a throw-in.
And I think a good indication of how Melbourne's forward line has worked for most part of the day is that their 2 key forwards, Lyon and Swartz, are off the ground. Jeff White at full forward.
So Steins to do the ruck work against Ben Holland. Knocked on by Bowden. That's good play to put it in front of goal. Richardson taken by little Jeffrey Farmer. He loves a run. Has a bounce. He better get rid of it. He does, but he kicks to a contest. Hopgood. Oh, was he grabbed? No. Oh, Knights. Proctor to half forward. The pack flies. An important get here. Bowden brilliantly to Daffy. Daffy in towards goal. It's swinging. Goal. Great play of the Tigers.
It's a fantastic take by Bowden again. Just such clean ball handling is important. We see the pack flying and then good hands to get that across to Daffy, who kicked accurately even though the Melbourne player was coming forward toward him. And they tried dummy it around him, but the finish was terrific. Uze, the player, coming at him.
Well, they're looking the goods at the moment, Richmond, but maybe they haven't sealed it just yet. Although Melbourne still haven't scored in this last quarter. 17 points the margin. Ingerson's hand pass. Bit slick for McDonald. Daffy got a little kick to it. Flipped out by Ingerson, but straight to Campbell. Trouble here. Proctor right in front. It bounces. A goal! Proctor in his second.
The MCG, the Tigers really emulating the Western Bulldogs final quarter, an 8-goal blast, and that really did shut the door on Melbourne, who managed just one straight. 13-13-91. Richardson booted 3, Daffy, Evans and Harrison 2 apiece, and several individual scorers for Melbourne on their 7 goals, 7. The ladder, and it certainly does look interesting at the moment, doesn't it? Sydney on top on percentage, but the Western Bulldogs are only some 4% behind them. What a battle it is in season 98. Melbourne have lost little ground. St Kilda are in 4th spot. Port Adelaide, a mighty run by the Power. Then comes Collingwood, making up that top 6. Next week, well, it's going to be marvellous on Friday night, Essendon and the Brisbane Lions. And then look at Saturday. The big game there, North Melbourne and Sydney. On Sunday, Melbourne and Collingwood. It's going to be a fantastic week next weekend. To all the mothers, happy Mum's Day and good night for now.